Okay, you guys already know how to do this math the standard algorithm way, where you have your dividend inside the box and your divisor outside the box. We're just going to go through the steps to show you how you move the decimal when you have a decimal in the divisor. And you probably remember this and you just do it automatically, but we're going to work through understanding why we're able to do that when we have a decimal outside the divisor. Like, if I rewrote this question where I have 1/2 inside the box and 1/10 outside the box, I would write them as decimals. So we'll see that in the next example. So first, let's look at this problem. And if we do the regular math and keep it, change it, and flip it, I know that my answer is going to be 5. Okay, because this can cancel, that can cancel. 5/1. So my tape diagram, my whole tape diagram is going to equal a number. So what's this question asking? 1/2 divided by 1/10. Or it's asking 1/2 is, remember when we translate divide into is 1/10 of what number? So let's figure that out. So if this whole thing equals 1/2, and I'm going to divide it into tenths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, do some more, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops, too many. That's okay. So here's my tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here's my tenths. If each unit is 1/2, okay, so 1/2 is 1/10. This box is 1/10, and I know that box is going to equal 1/2. What number is this whole thing? Well, let's see. 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. I know that 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So then every 2 boxes I'm going to get another one. 2, 3, 4. So I know that this whole tape diagram is 5. Okay? Because I translated my division. I translated my division sign into is. So 1/2 is 1/10 of what number? Okay, so that's how you can draw the model to show how we got our answer when we multiplied by the reciprocal. So let's look at the next part. Now, this is written just as a decimal. I know 1/2 equals 0.5. As a decimal, I'll write that nicer for you. I know that if I read 0.1 in place value language, that's 1/10. Okay, so 1/10 is how I would write 0.1. So now let's write this as a fraction. 0.5 divided by 0.1. Well, I know when I divide, it's just numerator over denominator. So 0.5 is my numerator, 0.1 is my denominator. That's what I'm dividing. Okay. Now, we could rewrite this where we have 0.5 in the box and 0.1 outside the box. Okay. And this is where you know we do not want to have a decimal in the divisor. We need to get rid of that. So how can we do that besides just moving the decimal? Well, we're able to move the decimal because what we do is we figure out how to get the divisor, which is on the bottom, converted to a whole number. How can I change 0.1? How can I change 1/10 to a whole number? Well, 1/10 times, or I'll say how many tenths are in one whole? 10 tenths are in one whole. So if I multiply the bottom by 10, will I get 1? Yeah, I know that if I multiply by 10, my decimal will move over 1, and I'll get my divisor to be a whole number, and that's what I want. Now, whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. So if I multiplied the bottom by 10, I need to multiply the top by 10. So if I multiply 0.5 times 10, I know that my decimal is going to move over 1 place to the right, and that's how I get 5/1. So that's all you're doing. You're doing this step here just with your fractions. You're multiplying by a multiple of 10. That's what you're doing. Now, in the next questions, you might see that the divisor might go to the hundredths place, so you'll need to multiply by 100 to get the decimal to the whole number. See, if you look at exercise number 2, you have 14.04, 14 and 400ths over 4 and 6800ths. I know that there's 2 decimal places I need to move over, so I need to multiply the top and the bottom by 100. And then I can divide 1404 divided by 468. And then you can do that long division. Okay? So that's all you're doing. In this step, we're just showing how you do it here with the fractions by multiplying by a multiple of 10. Okay? So hope that helps. If not, rewatch the video from the lesson. Okay, good luck, guys.